Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome to ACM Teach LA's Fall General Meeting, as you can see on this beautiful slide designed by ACM Design. We're going to talk a little bit today about what exactly our committee does. If you've seen us before at New Student Orientation or ACM's amazing Fall GM, you have a bit of a taste. You know, our mission is about providing fair CS education. But today we're really going to delve deep into all the different kinds of things that we do. And you're going to meet a lot of the really cool people that are behind Teach LA and that I'm privileged to be the fan club president of. So that's mostly what we do. Very quickly, if you haven't heard of ACM before, ACM is this giant, well, very broadly, ACM is this organization of like professional people who I guess they do research and stuff. But ACM at UCLA is this large umbrella group of CS organizations here at UCLA. And our big goal is to give back to the UCLA CS community. So we do a ton of workshops on things like cybersecurity or machine learning or making your own web app or competitive programming or making your own game. There's a whole diverse set of things that we do. And Teach LA is just one of those clubs. So that might confuse you from a branding perspective, but really we'd encourage you to check out everything that ACM has to offer. We'll drop a link, I guess, to the ACM website in the chat in a moment. But just to let you know, that's what we do. And you can definitely ask us if you have other questions about the things that ACM at UCLA does. Okay, what about us? You know, one of the cooler subcommittees. ACM Teach LA is specifically focused on providing equitable access to CS education. That was a lot of buzzwords at once, but really the idea is that a lot of us are fortunate enough to have, you know, CS in maybe your high school or your middle school, or your elementary school, but it's not the case for a lot of people in LA. The zip code that you're in and the school you go to determines so much of your education. And that's especially important during COVID because everything has shifted digitally. And we'll talk to you a little bit about what our digital plan looks like, but it's really important for us that we provide equal access to everyone. And we do that through a few ways. We'll talk about these in three broad terms. One is through teaching classes. Secondly is through running special events. And the third is through writing code. The big thing that you heard me say at ACM Fall GM, and you're going to hear all of us say a bunch more, is that we don't care about your prior coding experience or if you've taught kids before. Really, the most important stuff to us is what you bring to the table. Diversity is really important to Teach LA because we need a diverse set of role models for these kids. We need people with different perspectives to inform our curriculum and our teaching and our software. And in general, it's great to have more people and ideas in the room. So anyways, that's my boring spiel. We're done there. I'm going to quickly hand it off to Sophie, who's going to introduce our team.
Hi guys, I'm Sophie. I'm the Teach LA Logistics Director, and I'm really quickly just going to go through and have everyone from our team introduce themselves. So I think that I'm going to have everyone do name, preferred pronouns, major / school year, and then if you want to share a fun fact, feel free. I guess a fun fact about myself is that I love to bake and I have a very mediocre baking blog, and I'm a second-year applied math major and my preferred pronouns are she, her. So I'll have Matt start us off.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, as Mega says, link us to the blog. So my name is Matt. I'm the president of Teach LA. Preferred pronouns are he, him. I'm a third-year computer science and math economics double major. I guess my baking related fun fact is when I was in grade 9, I tried to make a cake. And I accidentally put in only salt instead of all of the sugar I was supposed to put in, and the cake caught on fire. So I have not baked a lot until recently. So, you know, it's been kind of nice to get back into things. But I'll pass it off to Leo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Leo. I am a third-year computer science major. My pronouns are he and him. And I suppose a fun fact about myself is that I am the third of my name. That's something I like to break out. So my full name is Leo Krashnoff the third. It's very verbose. And
Hey,
of course,
everyone.
I'll pass it off to Nikhil. Excuse me.
Thanks, Leo. Hey, everyone. I'm Nikhil. I'm the curriculum director at Teach LA. I'm a third-year computer science major. My preferred pronouns are he, him. I guess a fun fact about me is that I recently read and watched all of Harry Potter. And I'll hand it off to Chloe. Go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe. I'm a third-year math computation major. I'm the current outreach director at Teach LA. And I guess like for now, I'm the school lead of Emerson, although Nikhil will be taking over shortly. And I guess a fun fact about me, similar to Matt, I basically, I guess, set a fire while trying to broil a pepper. and like the entire apartment was like smoke, and it set off like this smoke alarm. It's really bad. Oh, and I'll hand it off to Arjun.
Cool, thank you. So my name is Arjun. I'm a third-year computer science major. So I'm an advisor this year, and I also lead the AI machine learning class at North Hollywood High School. I guess all of you already heard the fun fact about my like leeches adventure, but another fun fact is I was actually on CNN and I got to ask Tom Steyer a question during a town hall. He did not answer my question. It was very sad. I'll pass it off to Bonnie.
Hi, my name is Bonnie. I am a fourth-year linguistics and computer science major. My preferred pronouns are she, her, hers. And a fun fact is that over this quarantine period, I've done 3 2-week government mandated quarantines. So it's been a lot of time just like being myself and learning how to just live, basically. But yeah, I'm passing it on to Shravani if she's here.
Hi, I'm Shravani. I'm an advisor and I taught the AIML high school course last year. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a rising fourth-year computer science major and I really like outer space. It's super cool and scary. Passing it off to Chase.
Hi, my name is Chase. I'm a second-year computer science major. I am the React Native school lead, and my pronouns are he, him. And continuing the catching on fire food fun facts, I actually started a fire with spaghetti one time, so that's fun.
Hi there, I'm Malik. I'm a fourth year cog sci major and my pronouns are she, her. I don't have any like fun burning stories, but I did once actually leave a donut in the microwave for 8 minutes instead of 8 seconds and it sort of got burnt. But yeah, I'll pass it on to Kirtana.
Hey, I'm Kirtana. I'm a third year cognitive science major and digital humanities minor. My preferred pronouns are she, her, hers. And my fun fact, adding on to all the burning food stories, is in 6th grade, we had to make food in our cooking class and our group burned our food twice and set the oven on fire. So we weren't allowed to work together at all after that.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm a third year computer science and engineering major. My preferred pronouns are she, her. Fun fact about me, I guess, is I have never ever actually managed to sleep past 8 hours consecutively. I will always wake up. So no long sleeping periods for me. Pass it on to Regina.
Hi, my name is Regina and I'm a third year computer science major. My pronouns are she and her. And as for a fun fact, I don't think I've ever baked a cake that like came out of the pot, like the pan itself. Like it always gets burnt somehow. Anyways, passing it on to Caitlin.
Hi guys, my name is Caitlin. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a third year computer science major. I guess a fun fact is I knit.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks. Yeah, thanks everyone for presenting your fun facts. I guess we're going to move on to a little bit about our classes and curriculum. So I guess we'll pass it off to Malik to talk a little bit about our introduction to Python class.
Hello again. So typically for our introduction to Python class, the course goes over, it lasts like roughly a quarter, and you go over the absolute basic fundamentals of Python, like data types, variables, control flow, and looping. And we usually try to finish up the class by teaching a little bit of Turtle, which is like the simple graphics library in Python. And then this quarter, we'll be teaching an introductory Python class on Fridays from 10:10 to 11:20 p.m. Pacific time. And for now, it seems like we'll be teaching bi-weekly, but that might change to weekly. And anyone's like welcome to join us in teaching, even if you don't know Python syntax. Specifically, we'll be going over like what we're going to be teaching each week, and like we can prepare you for like anything you might need to know.
And adding on to that, in case you can't make the class time Friday 10:10 to 11:20, We're also this quarter trying to transition to a more like online based curriculum for students who can access our material like live. So we will need help with that if you're interested in joining and helping out with Python. And I'll pass it on to Arjun.
Cool, thank you. As Matt noted in the chat, it's actually AM, not PM. We're not teaching kids at night. They usually go to sleep then. But I'm gonna talk about the intro to AI and machine learning class now. So this is kind of a more theory oriented, but we do some projects, high school course covering computational and the mathematical tools behind AI and machine learning. And we do this over 13 plus 1 hour sessions. Some of the topics that we cover include supervised learning, linear and logistic regression, neural networks, and even like fairness, ethics, accountability, and transparency. We really want to make sure that we hand like the next generation of potential like AI scientists and practitioners with the ability to think very critically about the social implications of the technology they're building, as well as kind of like a very good understanding of how it works. Our class, we do the class every week from 1:05 to 2:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays. And usually the students have some background in pre-calculus and some coding experience. Just as a quick note, for those of you who are interested in this class, we'd love to have you help out with content creation or kind of teaching some of the more like fair machine learning elements. Unfortunately, just because of given like the kind of more technical nature of this course compared to Python and the next course, which we'll talk about, which is React Native, we're not accepting like instructors generally. There's kind of an interview process, but definitely still reach out to me and we can discuss ways in which you can get involved. So without further ado, I'll pass it off to Matt, who will talk about React Native.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thanks, Arjun. Yeah, so we have another class that we teach to high schoolers that's at a different time slot. This is Thursdays at 10:10 to 11:25 a.m. in Pacific time. And this is web and app development with React Native. So this is a little bit different than other mobile app development classes because we're going to focus mostly on actually web technologies. That's HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, React Native, Expo. If these are all scary words that you don't understand, that's fine. You know, as we're going to mention again and again, there's no prior experience required. You can totally just join in and we're glad to teach you. Hopefully we're good at teaching this kind of content. And we're also going to go over like Git and GitHub. And most importantly, this is a very project-based class. So while this class fits APCSP curriculum and we worked closely with the teacher, the kids at the very end are going to make their own app. They're going to present it to a bunch of Facebook engineers who work on the React Native team, have a mini little expo. And hopefully it'll be a great time. It's an opportunity for you as well to kind of practice not only your public speaking and teaching skills, but also learn more about JavaScript, React, and React Native. If you're interested in this class, you can hit up Chase, who is our curriculum lead and class lead, and he'll kind of go over next steps in onboarding for you. Before we quickly move on to curriculum, I want to address someone's question in the chat. So a great question is, hey, so when do you actually learn the stuff you're going to teach? We're going to talk about this in a moment, but we have curriculum meetings on Tuesdays from 7:30 onwards. So that's this time slot, but we'll talk about that as the time comes. I'm going to hand it off then quickly to Nikhil, who's going to talk about curriculum.
Thanks, Matt. So curriculum is a very important component of Teach LA. So if you're on curriculum team, you primarily create curriculum for our Scratch and Python classes. So what we need this fall quarter is help developing slides, worksheets, coding activities, and projects for our ongoing Python class. And then we also, as I mentioned before, need help transitioning our Python class and Scratch classes to a more online-based curriculum. A key thing that you'll notice with Teach LA is that you don't need any experience at all. So if you I've never used Python before, I've never even coded before, please still join curriculum team. We will teach you what you need to know, and teaching is a great way to also learn something. And also, if you have any other curriculum ideas or suggestions, feel free to join and share your thoughts. And yeah, we're a very welcoming team. And I'll hand it off to Matt.
Yeah, so that was our class roster for the fall, and things kind of change quarter to quarter. So in the winter, especially just because of COVID, we might have more classes. But hey, let's say either none of those class times worked for you, or you're not really sure if you can commit to a class weekly, we still have other options for you. So one option is going to be speaker series and events. And I'm going to hand it off to Kirtana, Nina, Regina, and Kaylin to introduce what's going on here.
Hey, I'm Kirtana. I'm one of the special events directors. And one of the things we do at special events is speaker series. So they're a mix of one-off or series events. So sometimes we'll just do, so some of the examples we have are computer science pathways or fair and ethical ML. So sometimes we'll just do a one-off event where we get like 5 or 6 UCLA students and we go to school and we talk to them about different things they can do with a computer science degree or like different fields in computer science. Or we'll do a series like for fair and ethical ML, we'll probably do a series of like 3 different like separate times where we'll talk to people about different biases within machine learning and do activities with them. Same thing with game development. So they're all just different topics involving computer science and technology. So if you have any ideas for different speaker series that you think would be really cool to do with schools, depending on whatever age you think it might work for, reach out to us. Or if you want to help organize and like create and like mediate the speaker series, definitely reach out to us as well. And I'll hand it off to special events.
Hi. Alongside our weekly classes that run throughout the year, we also organize standalone special events, which are very similar to our speaker series events, but they're normally like a little longer, normally a day long or maybe a few weeks in length. And we often organize them in collaboration with other organizations on campus. So just a quick example of past events we've hosted, as well as projects that we're currently working on this year. So over the summer, we had a collaboration with City Lab, which is a biotech educational organization here on campus. And we put together a very interactive virtual intro to cyber security and cryptography event, and with a lot of help from our dev team. Currently, we're also working on a collaboration with Beam, another great STEM education outreach club on campus. This is one of our longer events. It'll be a series of sessions over the course of multiple weeks instead of a one-off deal. And we're shipping the kids little robot kits for them to work with. So it'll be a great hands-on intro to both coding and robotics. And finally, our last example is Day of Code, which is with ACMW, which I'm sure you guys all heard about at the GM yesterday. So we have tentative plans in place for this one. It's going to be another day event. Hopefully it'll help introduce kids to computer science in general, give them a good idea of what coding is really like, what studying CS in college is like, and just like get them really pumped up about CS in general. And the good thing about special events is the timeline for organizing these events in general, it's a lot more flexible. So if you find that none of our long-term teaching courses fit your schedule, but you still want to get involved with teaching or involved with the club, joining our special events team is a great option. And like with all events at Teach LA, definitely all experience levels are welcome here. These are one-off events. They're generally day events. They're more geared towards just letting kids dip their toes into the water, so they're not very technical. And regardless, if there's anything you need help with, we're happy to teach you anything that you need to know to help design and teach these events. And additionally, a lot of our events are in collaboration with non-computer science organizations. A lot of them deal with computer science in conjunction with other subjects. So you do not have to be a computer science major to join in. All majors are absolutely welcome here.
Awesome.
Okay.
So the last big
ahead.
thing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Leo.
It's totally fine.
You know, it's been a long day. But yeah, last quick thing I'll just talk about in the large categories of things is dev and software. And we have literally a software genius with us here today, Leo, who's going to talk to us about how our dev team works.
I would not phrase myself as that, but hello there. I'm Leo. I'm the dev team director at Teach LA. And this is another component of Teach LA. So what exactly does dev team do? Well, we write software and we write code and we make websites. More specifically, we write code and make all of these things to keep it in line with propagating our mission, which is really to make CS education more accessible, more equitable, just really more digestible for everyone, right? So the first part obviously is developing software, which ends up just making a variety of high quality, approachable materials for both our teaching staff, the schools we teach, and just everyone at large, the world. That's the beauty of the internet. So to this end, we already have a handful of projects that you can develop, maintain, and extend. So our existing projects, the biggest ones, include our code editor, which is online and free. You can find it at editor.uclaacm.com, which provides kids a way to write and save code in Python or processing, all from within their browser. without needing an email address to register. Very cool. We also have a series of learning modules that explain some more complex topics in CS, but in a much more digestible top-down manner. So one such example that I have here on the left actually is Passwords, which was a learning module that explained to kids the concepts of password security and it's basically social engineering and the importance of all of those things. But of course, this needn't limit you. We pride ourselves on being able to, kind of initiate our own things. So really, if you have any idea that would help our mission, propose it. That's something you can do. And if we have the resources and you have a plan, we can throw that all together. And then once you're all done developing it, you have the opportunity to reflect on it. And that's where our blog comes in, actually, which we may not have a link in the chat right now, but I'll put one up after I finish speaking, where you can write postmortems and just kind of general analyses of the code that you wrote. So some recent examples include the ones where we talked about kind of writing passwords or creating the blog or writing Cipher Salad, which was another learning module. So anyways, to round it out, this is probably one of the only fields where there will never be enough material. I mean, that's the beauty of pedagogy. It's always evolving. And you'll be able to make a measurable impact on both the schools we teach and just the world at large. So last thing I want to stress, by the way, is that there's no experience required like any other part of Teach LA. We really value training people and just bringing on anyone who's curious and enthusiastic about our mission. So feel free to hit me up on Slack if you're interested, or come to our meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right, I'm gonna hand it off to Matt to round it out with the internship program.
Awesome, thank you, Leo. So, okay, that was a huge information bomb. We have one more very small one for you. We have an internship program, which is a strange name, but it's with ACM at UCLA as a whole. So as we referenced earlier throughout this entire presentation, there's no application to join us. You just say hi and you don't hate kids, and usually you'll be fine. And we'll work with you to figure out how to teach all these different kinds of things. If you are interested in joining more leadership role related things, so for example, leading a dev team, leading a speaker series team, leading a school, that is when you go through the internship program. It's mysterious, it's intriguing, it's tantalizing. And I updated the slide, but didn't show up. So the application is gonna come out at week 3. So keep posted in our Slack and our website for that information. But just to let you know, I know a lot of people were confused about the internship program from yesterday's GM. But yeah, so, okay, you've learned about all these cool people and me, and you wanna join us. How will we do that? Sophie, would you have an answer to that question?
I would, Matt. Thank you for asking. So here are just a couple links that will help us with the onboarding process. So please join our Slack workspace. That's where we post a lot of our Zoom links for meetings and other important updates. And then we also have 2 interest forms. One is just general interest in Teach LA, and then the other one is for the dev team. So please fill those out. Those are not, as Matt said, required to join, but that'd be really helpful for us to get some information about you before you join our team. So yeah, I'll give it back to Matt to give some closing remarks.
Okay, yeah, so you've heard a lot about what our club does. If there's one thing you have learned, it is hopefully that there's no prior experience required, because I can't stress this enough. We really care about making CS education accessible, and that is with the kids that we work with who are K-12, but it's also with you. We are a club that is first and foremost about you as well. We want to help you grow as a student, as a developer, as a teacher, as a public speaker, and hopefully as a person. But yeah, that's really the bird's eye view of everything that we do. So what should you do? Well, you don't have to do anything, but we would love it if you joined our Slack and filled out those interest forms. I posted a link to the slides below, so you can click on those links there, and I posted a link to our Slack too. If you join our Slack, I'll send you a welcome message, and I say this as I'm getting bombarded by new Slack member notifications. The other things I'll quickly plug is that we have a website that has all of our information and more, and we have a Facebook page. You can like us on Facebook, and you can get updates from us there as well. I'm going to stop recording in just a moment. So after we stop recording, you are more than welcome to turn on your audio or turn on your video and ask us questions in person. We'd love to meet you, but also we'll release you and you can kind of go to other GMs or meet a lot of other cool people too. Very quickly, just to answer some very quick questions. Someone asks, do you have to choose one branch to focus on, or can you be involved with other branches as well? That's a great question. No, you can do everything. And that's something that I kind of have a tendency of doing, but you can kind of put in as much time as you want. So if you love doing classes and the dev team, we have a lot of people who are developers and instructors. If you love speaker series and classes and just want to stick with kids as much as possible, you can do that too. So we'll definitely allow you to do that. That being said, we'll also do like a wellness check, so you're not like overcommitting yourself, because apparently that's a bad thing to do. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. We'll have a lot of options open available for you. Something that I'll also quickly mention that I think someone asked earlier is the minimum commitment to teach a class is about 2 to 3 hours. So teaching the class is like 1 hour. And then we have a curriculum meeting at 7:30 on Tuesdays. So that's this time slot where we generally go over the stuff we're going to teach for the week. So ideally, you can go to both of those things. You can reach out to the school lead and talk about with them if there's something else that you need to figure out instead. But that's kind of the minimum commitment there. And the last thing I'll say before we end off this video is if there's a specific area or areas of Teach LA that you're interested in, I would definitely encourage you either to stick around after and like hunt down that person, or find them on Slack or Discord or any of our other services and reach out to them. They're probably the best place to start. But yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm going to stop the recording now so you can, like talk and stuff. But it was really great to see all of you, and we hope that you'll join us at Teach LA soon. Okay, thank you.